Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Loch Lomond 22-year-old. Vintage 1999, Dustin. 150th St. Andrews. We got the 149 St. Andrews. Now we got the 150, 4,000 total bottles. This one comes in at 40, I'm sorry, I can't read that. What's it say?
48.2%
ABV. So this one is 19 years in traditional oak, which I would assume is refill bourbon, Dustin, and then 3 years in Claret Barriques, if I'm saying that correctly.
There's a brand name to it, guys. It's very French sounding, so I didn't go for it.
We were super impressed with the Loch Lomond 20-year-old that was the 149th St. Andrews. So actually, I bought one of those as well for myself, and you found the next year's 150th. So we're going to take a look at this again. We've been, again, super impressed with the Lomonds here lately, at least these specialty offerings, and we're going heavy Dustin.
I was like, geez, Mike. All right, so one thing to note, guys, they've done a couple 22-year-olds. They're always the same, like St. Andrews or whatever.
This is the 150th, 199.
Yeah, so they're a little different in the maturation. Nice. And then, Mike, if I can grab this real quick here so I can give the folks. So if you guys know anything about Loch Lomond, the one important thing to remember is they have the ability to do a lot of different stuff in terms of their distillation.
Yeah, tall, shorts. Well,
They do grain and everything else. And so this one here, I'm going to do a little reading here because I couldn't memorize this off the top of my head here. But what they're doing here, it's a unique. So this is a combination of whiskey from our unique straight neck pot still and more traditional swan neck still. So this has got multiple distillates from different, shaped stills. Yeah, so definitely something a little unique. Something I think Loch Lomond is really one of the only brands who can do stuff like this.
And Dustin, will add beautiful bottle. I like the bottle in the 20-year. This is a significant upgrade. It has the bevel bottle emblem,
beautiful like wood cork with like this like centerpiece. It's kind of, I don't know if it's metal or just like a finish, but yeah. And it came in a nice box, Mike. I'll be honest, I couldn't justify bringing the box with me because I brought so much whiskey up here today.
Just sometimes you look at a bottle of scotch or bourbon or something, you just think like, this is whoever designed this bottle's a drinker.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I love when they have these little like medallions.
I love them. Like the Glenlivet 15. I love that. I love the tapered bottom. Great cork, great neck. It just
yeah. And by the way, just so you guys can all feel envious, $144 is what I paid for this plus tax.
So Dustin, I told you give me a backup of the 20 for 100. You were gracious enough to do so. We talked about this one. Let's see if we can back up with this one, Dustin.
Unfortunately, this one I can't buy an extra. There's only one left in the store. I did buy two of the 20s. By the way, a couple of you guys were like, why did you not already buy it? Guys, I did. I just waited to tell you.
Man, this is coming off like
This is rich.
Another great whiskey.
This is almost steak sauce-esque in its richness, like some kind of they've done like some reduction on the steak and they've added all kinds of beautiful red wine notes.
They have made the oak an aerosol. Like the oak is in the air, making it thick, almost like humidity in the glass.
I love how you jumped right to the oak, which is huge and heavy, and I was sitting here on the reduction sauce with the red wine. Because they're both distinct and yet both incredibly powerful.
Wow. The oak note isn't, as far as the volume of a flavor, isn't the first thing you normally pick up. It's more subtle.
The oak's the finish on here for sure, but it's noticeable, and it's drying oak for sure.
It's like noticing a rolling hill in a meadow or in a plot of land. Except for this is a side of a mountain that's flat of an oak note. It is a massive oak note, and I loved the oak note in the 20.
You know what's interesting here, Mike? I've never said this before. I've never even had this memory come back. But have you ever tasted honeysuckle?
Yeah, I have.
I'm getting a little bit of a honeysuckle note on the nose here.
I don't know if I go so far as honeysuckle, but there's a richness of honey.
But here's the funny thing, though, is everything on this is dark. And then there's this little bit of lightness that I just sparked that memory of honeysuckle. Because this is a very dark whiskey. It's chocolate, it's red wine, it's reduction sauce, it's oak. All these are dark notes. And I get that little honeysuckle kind of thing in there.
Man, but I'm also getting spice, vanilla. Just the overwhelming monolith of an oak note.
I mean, again, it's very generic, sweet malt. Just full disclosure here. There's nothing like wow about like the whole multi-neck thing here. I'm sure it's doing some cool stuff here, but it's all within a very common, classic Loch Lomond sweetness. There is some smokiness coming through here, but to me, it's coming through as oak.
Wood note, yeah.
Yeah. So if Loch Lomond, I know sometimes they use peat, sometimes they don't. I don't believe this is peated, but I do believe that Loch Lomond claims that this process gives some smokiness. I think it's coming from the oak, but maybe the stills are doing it too. But the overwhelming things, I think that wine finishing did add some smokiness.
22 years is no short amount of time for even a Scotch.
No, this is a good age.
You would expect an oak note on a 22-year-old Scotch, especially one bottle that, I mean, I don't know if that's cast strength, but it's at least a high ABV. Was it 48 too?
They do vary in proof on these 22-year-olds, I noticed. So I would think it could be potentially.
It probably is. Yeah, it probably is.
I didn't do a whole lot of research on that, but I did notice that there were some different proof notes, so could be.
Yeah, I keep just being gravitate towards the oak note on the nose.
It is definitely
I was impressed with the oak note on the 20-year-old, but that was more on the palate.
This is a different oak. This is softer, more gentle in comparison to that. That other one was virgin oak. This is much softer. But
you're at the English virgin oak, right?
Yes. England. First time I've ever seen that listed before.
Yep.
But this is very dirty, oaky. But I will say, I mean, for somebody who might be adverse to, say, red wine notes on a nose, because red wine can be a little too assertive, a little too dirty. It's definitely not that. This is definitely coming off like a drinking wine, and I'm not a wine expert, guys. So for those of you who know the wine in here and what it means, post comments down here. We'd love to hear it. Welsh, I'm counting on you, buddy. But yeah, really good integration of that. What do you got, Mike?
So at first, velvety oak, some fruitiness. And then quickly you swallowed the oak note along with it, more of a citrus note kind of came up. Wood smoke, spice, twinge of some type of Christmas spice, maybe mix it with nutmeg.
Oh my goodness.
I'm missing stuff. There's more going on here.
Wow. So I've only... it's hard for you guys to see, but this one did not have a really high fill level here, Mike. It was actually pretty low when I got it.
True. It's Loch Lomond.
The point being is I only had like 2 pours of this before I came here, and both pours were the same night, so I enjoyed the hell out of it. They were heavy pours. But point being is I have no memory of like the good notes here, and this was incredibly complicated, Mike. I'm going to have to go back for another pour, because what interestingly happened is the arrival of sweetness, kind of like you talked about, and let's say kind of chocolatey. Again, I have to go back. Like my mind got like Men in Black, where they give you that little thing.
Yeah,
like,
reset.
Reset.
That flashy thing.
There was like
neuralizer.
So I thought I was enjoying the finish on the whiskey, and then the finish changed twice on me as I was sitting there, and I was like, "The hell just happened?" I had lost my entire train of thought, guys. Unbelievable. And I thought I even had notes from like when I first had it, and they all changed on me here, guys. So like I do remember somewhat drinking this one, and what I liked, but it's opened up and changed a lot since I opened it up. I probably got this a month ago because Mike and I haven't been able to get together in a little bit. Wow. Let me go back at the taste.
It's almost like something like a light peach coming in now on the nose. Slight bit of astringency. Wow. Man, I love these whiskeys.
Wow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get one for you, Mike. I might need to back up.
Dustin, I don't blame you, buddy. God. I never will chastise someone for doing something I do too.
This is this is actually better than I even remember. God.
Gourmet lemon.
This whole experience is gourmet. This is something I would want to pair with a really nice steak. Which I never really think of steak and whiskey. Occasionally, maybe like a Lagavulin with like a turkey or something. So you get like a dark peat with like smoky meats. But this would go with a really nice steak, completely unseasoned steak. I just want the steak seared on the grill, nothing else. And with this,
for my limited experience with these last couple of bottles, this is such a connoisseur's whiskey.
Dude, we really enjoyed the regular 18, which is a super affordable bottle.
Yeah, that's right too. I do remember that.
It's a $100 bottle for these days. But I'm going in again, guys. I might be pouring more of this.
Dustin, I was so impressed with that 20-year-old, the 149th St. Andrews. I'll let Dustin if you see one, please pick it up for me. So when you got that, you were like, hey, man, there's a 22. I'm like, I should probably buy one, right? I was like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Maybe I overestimated it.
I'm buying the 30 when I go down there next.
Oh, my goodness.
We'll decide who's actually going to keep it and pay for it, but I'm buying it. One of us
30-year-old?
Yeah, one of us is getting that. It's $500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's 47, by the way.
ABV percent,
Anyway, guys, it's like chocolate, but there's something like, again, more like savory than chocolate coming in on the arrival.
There's a density to it that must be from the stills, I would imagine.
It's so
the combination of the stills.
And the stills could be creating a really great mouthfeel.
It's not only the combination, or not only the stills, it's the combination of the stills.
yes.
I'm guessing.
And again, maybe the wine finishing. I got to get into this finishing though. Like it's doing this weird it's doing these different transitions where like it gets dark and oaky, but then it sweetens up again, and then it gets dark and oaky, and it sweetens up. It's like initially it's kind of flat, and then there's like a double wave here, which I can't remember another whiskey that did. It was so consistent up front on the arrival, and then like just wow, very unusual.
I don't know what to add. I mean, I was going to say things like, "Oh, pick up now with like an oaky lemon." So
let's get to water, Mike.
Yeah, I
I can't even explain this whiskey.
Yeah, I can add things to it, but I'm sorry. But the
give me water.
I was keeping something away from my child. Like I can't touch that. But let's go back to this. Is a very malleable spirit. It seems nice. Incredibly inoffensive. I continue to just be stuck on how well the oak notes are done in these last two whiskeys.
Yeah.
There is a lovely lemon / lime with a little bit of with a little bit of orchard fruits in the spice note, this exotic spice.
Mm-hmm. You know what's interesting, Mike? As soon as you said that, so adding water, that's the first time I really got that orchard note. But yeah, you're right. There's a distinct. I was getting excited. Like there's like a stewed apple thing. It's not like fresh apples. It's stewed.
I think the Brits call that boiled down or something like that. Yeah. But you're right.
Well, again, I started off with the reduction sauce and stuff. I mean,
you're right. The clues are there. I haven't been in water yet. Stand on your whiskey.
Brother, you can drink all you want.
I know.
Just don't pour it out.
Dustin, all the crazy things I might do, pouring good whiskey down the sink is something I would never do.
Mike will absolutely pour good whiskey down the sink. He won't pour great whiskey down the sink, and that's where we're at right now.
We're just arguing over semantics and details, just like the Inglorious Bastards. Special place in hell for people who waste good scotch. And since I might be rapping on the door momentarily, cheers.
Ooh. Yeah, there is those tannins build up.
Yeah. With water, you're getting darker,
and it plays games on your tongue where it's moving around.
There's a clay note here.
Like I remember you're a kid and they're kind of pointing out your different taste receptors and where you pick up stuff. This one moves. Like a lot of times whiskey,
is it tongue chart?
Yeah. I can actually feel as I swallow the whiskey kind of moving around. Normally, it's just yes, I pick up more here and there, but this is which receptor is being targeted is actually moving back as it goes. It's interesting.
All right, so there is a
excellent whiskey.
There is a upscale exotic clay note that's coming out with water that goes along with the oak note.
That's the red wine for sure, giving you that note. With some of it's the malt. I remember very distinctly Loch Lomond is one of the few distilleries that gives a white chocolate, a proper white chocolate, not light chocolate, not it's light. I'm talking actual white chocolate notes.
Something else.
And that, along with the very light peat notes that they have, because they have a different peat. I think this is peated. It doesn't say it anywhere here, but I think there's a little bit of peat in here.
Maybe that's the clay note I'm picking up.
And because their peat's a different kind of peat, and I think they have a different brand even for their heavily peated stuff, which I've never had. I need to put that on the list. But
Dustin, I have always
Loch Lomond we don't see a lot locally.
Right, and I've overlooked this distillery every time I've seen it.
Well, it used to not be well thought of, Mike. This distillery was, for a long time, really not, a whiskey drinker's distillery. And now, geez, they are killing it.
Just fall asleep a week or so ago, I was watching it was like just a story about Scotland in general, and they were talking about their lakes. That's what they call them, lochs. I think Loch Lomond was like second biggest lake or something, freshwater lake or something like that. But Scotland has like 90% of the fresh water of I want to say the UK or something like that, or those islands. But so these lochs or whatever.
This has got to be peated.
You think so?
Yeah, there is a note. Again, it's not classic. It's not like it's not Isla peat. It's not Port Ellen peat. It's,
for sure not.
It's like it's a clay funkiness, but it's a little smoky.
You're right. There's a funkiness to this clay, and there's a smoke.
Yeah. If that's coming from the still, crazy cool. But I think there's just a subtle different peat. I don't know what the ppm number is or all that stuff, but it's a smoky, funky clay. God.
And here comes a lemon-infused oak note.
It's crazy. When I first opened this, Mike, that red wine was very assertive and aggressive and upfront. Yeah. Now, it's integrated in a way that I don't remember at all. This is so much better.
Yeah, old whiskeys.
This has improved drastically in a month.
Old whiskeys, and when I say old whiskeys, over 20-year-old and over whiskeys, they really need to be open for a little bit before you really get into it. Wow. Every once in a while, we'll open up a bottle, start a whisky review, but never.
We try not to, but
we try not to. It's over 20 years.
Unless it just came out and it's like, hey, if we don't review it today, no one can get it.
So. The point being, much like distilleries say, like Springbank, that really need to be open for a while. Man, you got the 20-year-old whiskey or over. Give it some time. Do yourself a favor. This is so good. There's so many things going on here. We go back to it day after day, or we can talk about this one whiskey all night and pull things. It's that complex of a whiskey.
I could just pour another glass of this and just spend the rest of the night with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unbelievable whiskey. Excellent. I'm really impressed. Now, I will say this, Mike. It doesn't have
a wow factor.
A huge wow factor.
Unless you're an oak note fan.
The totality of what you're getting here in that wave of experiences is wow factor level, but it doesn't have a singular wow factor.
Yeah, no.
This is exceptional whiskey and is a wow whiskey, but it doesn't have a singular that sherry note is incredible. The wine cask here isn't an incredible, awesome thing. It's the way it worked with the still.
This is connoisseur's whiskey, Dustin. Like I said,
absolutely.
It would be very easy for a casual whiskey drinker, and how would they know any different? Just to say, "Oh, it's nice, smooth,
easy drinker,
which all have their place. For someone who loves whiskey and wants to pick them apart, like a Pindal. That's just more sticking the nose and things. But anyway, you get the gist. If you're a whiskey fanatic, and our viewership is for the
absolutely
most part. Our viewership.
We don't have broad appeal. We have very specific niche appeal.
We have the cast strength crew of whiskey viewers.
Absolutely.
Ours are cast strength single malt Scotch whiskey viewers. For us, man, there's so much to appreciate here, Dustin.
This is a stunner, God.
I assumed it would be based on the 20, and I was excited to try it.
I'm always a little leery of red wine casks. They can be very iffy.
As with we were having this conversation about peat in a different whiskey review. Big range, buddy.
Yeah.
This is the low end of the range.
This kills it.
This isn't the red series, Dustin?
No.
This isn't Lefroy port and wine.
It's definitely not, but I've had some higher end whiskeys use high end wine casks and not been impressed. This is excellent.
If I was on Desert Island, I was going to get straight on Desert Island, and my captor said, "You got a choice. Either you can have all the Lefroy, which I love, red wine and port, or you can choose to be sober."
Sobriety sounds great after that.
You know what? I need to embrace to being a better man. But I agree with Dustin.
I'll be healthier.
Red wine finishings can be all over the place. This, if you're one of those people, this is on the low end of over the place. This isn't all over the place. This is a little bit of spice. You know what this is? Salt and your eggs.
This integrated perfectly, and maybe I'll find out later. Somebody's going to tell us this is not a red wine; it's something similar, or whatever.
Comes off that way.
I mean, look at the color. That is not the result of something not red color.
I know what cinnamon smells like.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely beautiful whiskey.
Beautiful whiskey. I expected to be it, and it was that and more, Dustin. You've already finished your glass quite some time ago, so forgive me. I will get to it, Dustin. Your bottle, so I'll go first.
Well, you poured extra, that's why I finished my glass first.
Oh, yeah. I'm well aware of that. And I like the whiskey if I'm going back for a second pour. Dustin, I'm just going to, I don't know the whiskey enough to go crazy, but I'm just going to give it straight up 90 out of 100. Excellent whiskey. I'd probably cash rank, but a good ABV. Definitely doesn't smell.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't feel chill filtered. Wow. If you're someone who really appreciates oak, these Loch Lomonds are absolute stunners. You know what these are? These are let me quantify.
By the way, it is proudly stated non-chill filtered on here.
I bet. This is to me like the Lucky 7 14-year-old proprietor.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Going bourbon comparison, that is excellent. I always like when you can cross whiskey styles.
It's just, if you're a guy who really knows and wants the small details all done, not only right, but well.
Yeah.
It's a niche market, Dustin.
To your point, this is a niche market. This is exceptional connoisseur whiskey that does 1,000 subtle little things perfectly. I remember when I was younger, people were talking about wine, and they're like, well, it's all about the nuance and this, that, and the other. It's not about being bold and this, that, and the other. Well, this is that connoisseur whiskey. This is bold whiskey. It's got lots of flavor.
Oh, sure.
But the way it wows is through all those little subtleties. And Mike, I'm right there with you. I'm going to give this a 90. You could talk me into a 91, but I'm going to stick with 90. Just because, much to your point, this is my second time having it. I haven't really spent a ton of time with it.
It's probably only going to get better. It's not going to get worse.
That's the thing, is this might get better as the bottle comes down, and oh my God, if it does. Whew.
I don't know when the 151st and 52nd and 53rd St. Andrews are, or if they've even happened, but if these guys are making a whiskey for it,
given the discount prices we're getting on these, I bet you this is one bottle from a few years ago.
This is $400 or $500 whiskey.
Well, actually, we can do real simple math here, Mike. This is 99. It's 22 years old.
Ooh, 21.
Yeah, so it's there's been 4 more releases potentially of this. Might have to probably look into getting some more of these.
That both excites me.
They're going to cost more. That's why we're getting these good prices.
Depending on how old they are. I know we got these at a discount, but man, that 20-year-old that you bought and you brought me one of, that's about the best $100 buy I bought since Balvenie 12-year-old cask strength 2022.
It's great.
And this is 2025. And this one was what, 150?
Yeah, 144 and change.
I feel
Plus tax.
extremely confident saying in in Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan, you're not going to find a better Scotch for $150. And what better means to me is old, cask strength, and good.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is incredible how much it's improved. I'm just stunned.
Loch Lomond, I'm again impressed. I'm impressed enough with Loch Lomond at this point where it's like, man, you give me one of these offerings, give me similar statistics and age, I'll give you a shot.
Yeah.
Unless it's $1,000.
Yeah, 30 years coming home.
150th St. Andrews, vintage 1999, 22-year-old, only 4,000 bottles made. What's ABV one more time?
48.2.
48.2. Mike's eyes do not see that small anymore. Like everything, I'm a limited edition. I'm going to back down on my limits.
He's expiring.
Absolutely. All right, those are our thoughts on a particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this one, I'd love to know what you guys think. What would we determine? 21 release? That makes sense. And Dustin's the next time I wish, folks.
Happy swinging for the fences.
Drinking.